the girl has some favourites. Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I've got for you a video that I keep thinking about filming and then just never ever get around to, and it is favourites, makeup favourites. So they are things that I absolutely love, and if I was to get rid of everything, it's what I would want and it's what I would want to keep. The only things I don't currently have in there are eyebrows and mascara, and it's because my favourites I actually don't currently have, and it's because I'm kind of like trying to work my way through others. My favourite eyebrow pencil is the super thin one from Maybelline, and my favourite mascara is also from Maybelline. It's the, oh, what's it called? It's like the thin pink tube. Forget what it is, but I'll put it there. But everything else is firm favourites, and there are lots of them. Like, the girl has some favourites. The first thing is kind of like a category. I could put every single one I have from this brand in my favourites, but it would be ridiculous. And they are BeautyBay palettes. More explicitly, the smaller ones. I feel like the smaller of their palettes are slightly more curated. Their pastel palette, which doesn't sound like you're going to use it much, but I use mine all of the time. And these eyeshadows, either on my inner corner as a wash all over my eyes. Pastel is such a difficult colour to get pigmented and get right, and I feel like these do. They are so good, and so are all of their other palettes. This is the Nude matte palette, which is like everyday nude shades. I've got the Earth one, which is like greens, which I love. I've got a whole range of BeautyBay palettes, and they are super affordable, and honestly I could probably just cope with them, but I have other favourites as well. There are so many eyeshadow palettes that I love, but I've just picked 3 brands of eyeshadow palettes that I love the most. If you're going high end, I freaking love Vieve. Their palettes are quite neutral, they're quite safe, they're quite everyday. So obviously if you want something a little bit more out there, these aren't the brand, or at least they're not currently the brand that you're going to want. But this is the Essential palette, which was the first one, which as you can see I've well and truly loved. So this is like super warm neutrals, and you've got Lava Rock, which is more of a cool tone, and you've got everything in there from a white, which I clearly have not touched, to a black, which is like super black. Honestly beautiful. And then this is the Muse palette, which is the second one, which is more kind of like rosy tones. She also has a grey one, but I'm not massively into grey eyeshadow, so I haven't got it. But they're like the biggest pans in the world, and they are so easy to work with because they're pigmented, but then they blend. So if you like put too much on, you can kind of like blend it away. And then if I'm going for colour, if I'm going to do any kind of like colourful eye look, which I actually do quite a lot, I'm a big fan of matching eyeshadow to clothes. And I do have some really bright clothes, so I actually do it more than I think is normal. This is the BPerfect Carnival 3 palette, which is Stacey Marie's palette, and I feel like this has every single colour you could physically want. It's lacking a little bit, I think, on the yellow front. There's no yellow in here, but I have a yellow from BeautyBay that is exceptional, so I don't really mind. Just so pretty. So, eyeshadow palettes are done. I'm going to move on to the rest of the makeup. This makeup bag is from Cult Beauty. I think they sell a few different sizes. I'm pretty sure this is the large one. I use it every time I go travelling. It either just holds makeup, or it holds makeup and skincare and body care, depending obviously for how long I'm away for and whether I need like glam or just everyday makeup. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. Let's go through some lipsticks. The L'Oreal, they don't have the name of these lipsticks on them, so I can never remember what they're called. And I've got the shade here, I Speak Up and I Am Worth It. I also have a nude one in this collection, but it doesn't necessarily like bring me the same amount of joy. The dark berry tones in this range aren't very good, but the bright colours and the nudes are, and I mean, come on, they're just like so fun. Staying on the affordable train, I've got the NYX Lingerie XXL lipstick here, and this is in the shade Stamina. It is it's almost like the colour that's on my lips right now, which is from Bourjois, but like this is like such a beautiful deep berry red. It lasts forever. When it fades though, it can do that horrible thing where it like leaves a bit on the inside of your lip and a bit on the outside of your lip, but it does last like a really long time. So it's usually only if you're eating like greasy food that it does that. I wore this on my wedding day. Honestly, these lipsticks are amazing. I have a couple of them, but I actually really like the Nude. So these are the Shine Loud lip glosses, and this is the shade Movie Maker, and it's got like a lip gloss on one side which is like really sticky, and then you put the lip gloss on the other and then it's like really glossy and the stickiness goes away. They are probably some of the longest lasting lipsticks I have. The shine of them is relatively long lasting, but the colour is there forever. Big fan, love them. Highly recommend. If you want like a more typical bullet lipstick, I love the Revlon Super Lustrous matte lipsticks. This one's the shade Crust Rubies, which is a red. I used to have like a really bright pink, but I have no idea where it went. And then they've got a couple of nudes. I had the entire collection at one point. These are beautiful. They are affordable, they work, they're easy, they're comfortable, but they're super matte, they're pigmented. We're going a little bit higher ender for the next... Do I need this many lipstick favourites? Probably not. This is the Rare Beauty lip oil. This is the shade Serenity. It's like a really lovely tinted lip colour. It actually is quite pigmented considering it's a lip oil, but it's like so comfortable and hydrating and easy to wear and then easy to top up. Big fan of these. They're actually quite cooling when you apply them as well. Let's go to NARS. I mean, I don't think there's a lipstick range from NARS that I don't love, and I have quite a lot of them, but I think if I had to pick two favourites, it would be these two. So this is the NARS Air Matte lip colour, and this is the shade Pin Up. These are matte liquid lipsticks, but they are so comfortable. It honestly doesn't feel like you're wearing a lipstick. It feels like you put on like the lightest lip balm. Obsessed. I've also put this for the washing machine way too many times because I keep leaving it in my pocket. So this has been like sanitized. I then also have one of the NARS Afterglow lip balms. These are delightful, but the only shade I actually like is Dolce Vita. This is a mini. I obviously I got it in one of the advent calendars last year or the year before. I freaking love it. I've very nearly finished it, and I've stopped using it out of fear of finishing it because I can't find this shade anywhere. But it is beautiful. It's like your lips a bit better. Gloss, hydrating, dreaminess. Big fan. This is one of those things that ends up in these favourites all the time because it's nostalgic, and it's the NARS lipsticks. I honestly don't think they're the best. I really don't. But there is just something about them that whenever I wear them, it just makes me feel like I'm 19 again and like buy makeup the first time again, and everything's really exciting. And I then have the Rose Ink Satin lip colour, and this is the shade Poetic. It's just a really nice simple lipstick. It's nothing flashy, but it just does the job very well. And you know, who doesn't love magnetic packaging? Let's move on to something else. So I'm gonna go eyeliner next. My favourite black eyeliner, and it's the Weil eyeliner pen, and it's just, I mean, look at that. It's just so fine, but it doesn't like dry out super easily. Love this. This is my second one. And then we all know, love coloured eyeliner. I think the purple one's my least favourite, but these two eyeliner lines are my favourites. So you've got the NYX Epic Wear and the L'Oreal Matte Signature, and they are colourful eyeliners and they are stunning. They're like both brush tip applicators, so they're both more of a brush rather than like a felt tip, which takes a little bit of time getting used to. But when you're used to it, they're actually quite easy. And I have a green, a white, a yellow, burgundy colour, a red, and a lilac. What do we do next? Highlighter. There's only really one highlighter that I love, so I don't really have like a high-end and a drugstore version of this. This is the Vieve Nova Glow highlighter in the shade Bijou. I mean, you can tell I love it. It's just like a really easy, natural, everyday highlighter. I've been using this every day for whenever I bought it, which is basically when it came out. So like, what, 2 years? Something like that. Big fan. Absolutely love it. Bronzer. I've got like higher end ones and a drugstore one. Vieve will feature a lot. You will see this brand in this favourites many times. So the higher end favourites of mine are the Vieve Modern Bronzer, and this is the light one. They are so easy to use. Hilariously, the first time I used this, I hated it. Depending on what mood I'm in, I usually mix them, but if I want like a really warm look, I can obviously use the warm side. If I'm wanting like a pure contour, I can use more of the contour side. This is a more recent favourite. I've had this like 3 months, 4 months, 3-4 months, something like that. This is the Say Sunmelt Light Bronze, and I freaking love this so much. It's just like a really good bronzer. It's like obviously cream. You put it on, it blends effortlessly without blending away, and that's what I love. The amount of cream bronzers that you put on that just kind of blend away into nothingness, and then you're like, what was the point in that? Charlotte Tilbury looking at you. They like anger me so much, but this one is perfect. And then as a drugstore equivalent, I never ever use the highlight side. I think I might have used it like once, but the bronzer side of the NYX Wonder Stick is amazing. It's the same thing as the Say one. It's obviously just like a little bit easier to use. This is one of those bronzer sticks that blends so easily, but then it's still there. It's also a really nice colour. The packaging's a bit cheap and cheerful, but the product is so good. Blush. I mean, I probably could have put every blush I own in this favourites. Blush has been some kind of like weird chokehold, and it has for like a year. Obviously the Vieve ones are going to feature in here. This is Cherub, yeah, so Cherub, so like a nice bright pink. And then this is the one I have longer. This is Pesca, which is like a peachy tone. These are beautiful because they're pigmented but not too pigmented, you know? And like I've had this blush in particular for years, and I've worn it so many times and it's like barely made a dent. They're just big fan. I kind of want every single one. I want them all lined up. Cream blush, which somehow I've narrowed this down to 2 cream blushes, and I don't know how. One is the Rose Ink Lip and Cheek Colour in Ophelia. This is a gifted blush to me, but it is, I mean, you can see how much I've used it. I think this is, yeah, I wore this on my wedding day. It's just like the perfect pink blush, and it blends like a dream. It's pigmented, it's beautiful. It's not the longest lasting. I mean, I don't really find cream blush on its own on me is that long lasting, to be honest, but if you top it with a powder blush, lasts forever. And like I could put in every single one of these I have, but I felt like that would be so extreme. But I've picked up 3 of them, and they are the e.l.f. I think they're called putty blushes, yeah. These are honestly so good. I feel like you don't necessarily need to buy any other blush brand. I mean, I do because I have problems. If I was going to say start anywhere, these blushes are honestly so good. I mean, this one I've clearly like obsessed over. They have everything from like really dark shades to like really pale ones. The only thing I dislike about these is that the shade name isn't on the product, so I've got no idea what shade these are. Honestly, the best. Some of the best. Probably my favourite cream blush. Now we're getting into like base products. For powder, there is no doubt in my mind my 2 favourite powders, because they're the only ones that I purchased multiple times. Vieve again. Yes, I don't know what to tell you. This is the Vieve Modern Powder Perfector in the shade Light. This is my 4th one. This one is cracked slightly. I'm travelling it around on my honeymoon. It is honestly so good. It's one of those powders that like you put it on and you realise that powder is supposed to help make your makeup look better and not just like a practical thing that you have to use. And then the other one, and somehow this is my 3rd bottle. Do you realise how much there is in these bottles? It's insane. This is the RCMA, the original no colour powder. Love this. It is like the perfect no colour powder. I don't experience flashback with this. It can, if you put obviously on too much, it is like obviously white, but if you just like do like a normal dusting, it is perfect. Let's go with concealers. Vieve, obviously. This is the Vieve Modern Radiance Concealer. This is one of those concealers that you could wear as a foundation. Like it's honestly, it's got really, really good coverage, but it's really quite lightweight. This one is in the shade Light 1. I love this, and also the packaging. For a concealer, is that not beautiful? It's also got quite a big doe foot. I feel like it's veering into, what was that concealer that had like a massive doe foot? I feel like it was Too Faced. NARS. NARS is one of those brands that I love a lot of things that they do. Like a lot of their like powder face products are like near favourites, but the base products from NARS are amazing. And I love the Radiant Creamy Concealer and the Soft Matte Complete Concealer. These are so good, and they're such high coverage, and this skin colour match for me is exceptional. So I freaking love these. They're really, really high coverage, and they can be quite thick. So if you apply them with like your finger, they can be quite heavy, which is good if you want to cover something that needs heaviness. But if you don't tend to reach for these, to be honest. I tend to use them if I'm having like a bad skin day. And then because I felt like I had to have a high street or a drugstore option, honestly I think those three are my favorites if I had to like choose. But if I wanted to put in a drugstore favorite as well into the mix, it's the Maybelline Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. I really hate the applicator. If they made this like a doe foot, and I don't know why, but if they made it a doe foot, I'd love it a lot more. But the product itself is honestly so good. They're doing a massive campaign at the moment. I've been selling this concealer everywhere. Foundations. So my favorite drugstore foundation I don't currently have, and it's just because I have too many foundations, I'm not going to buy it. It's the Max Factor 3-in-1. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the Max Factor 3-in-1 foundation. It is so good. I think it's the same as a Milani one, because I think Max Factor and Milani are basically the same brand, but it is honestly, it's amazing. It's the best all-round drugstore foundation. It's like medium but buildable coverage. It has a really nice shade range. It lasts well. It looks beautiful. Big fan. I just don't have it, and honestly it's because I have a lot of high-end foundations at the moment and a lot that I'm loving. So I've got three favorites, but they're all very expensive and I'm very aware of it. So I thought I'd put in a drugstore version. These three are my favorite, and if you've been watching me for a while, none of these will be a surprise. They are all foundations I've purchased more than once. I love them. I love all of them for different reasons, but I love them. You've got the NARS Sheer Glow foundation in the shade Mont Blanc. This is the beautiful like glowy light to medium coverage foundation. Looks beautiful in the summer. I freaking love this. They don't come with a pump. You have to buy the pump separately, so I just obviously transfer my pump from bottle to bottle. I've then got the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, another product I wore on my wedding day. I paired these two together, obviously. This is so glowy. Like, it's not shimmery, there's no shimmer to it, but it's like a really glowy foundation, and it makes your skin look so healthy. Like, honestly, so healthy. And then the last one, no surprise, I have had many bottles of this. It's the Your Skin But Better CC Cream. This is the quickest, easiest, but like coverage foundation slash CC cream ever. And because it's a CC cream, it looks natural. It is quite heavy for, I'm gonna say CC cream so many times, but it's quite heavy for CC creams, especially when you compare it to like other ones out there. But it is honestly so good. It comes built with SPF. You probably should wear separate SPF, but it comes with SPF 50 in it. Fan favorite. My favourite primer is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I think I also wore this on my wedding day. I think I wore about 30 primers on my wedding day because it was like 33 degrees, but I freaking love this. It's one of those like primers that you put on your skin and it's like super tacky, and then foundation just like sticks to it. I love it. Big fan. The last thing that you put on your face just as you're leaving the house, and honestly I cannot tell you how much of a difference it makes, is setting spray. And my favourite setting spray is the Milk Hydro Grip and Set and Refresh spray. This is gifted, but I love it. I'm about halfway through my tube, as you can see. I honestly doused about 20 layers of this stuff on my face on the day I got married. And when you consider, so obviously like this, and this was my base, and it was 33 degrees. It was so sunny. I was obviously hugging loads of people. I was dancing because we had a Kaylee. I was obviously getting married. I was stressed because obviously it's quite a big day. And my makeup, I put it on at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then obviously I got home at like 1 a.m. and it still looked really good. And that this was my base, obviously finished off with this setting spray. Love this. It also smells really nice. I don't think it's necessarily scented of anything in particular, but it smells a little bit like cucumber. And there you have it. So many things. I've been talking for 33 minutes about makeup. Those are like all of the products that I ride or die absolutely love. There's obviously a few that are missing because they're finished and I don't want to purchase them until I finished other things. There are so many other things that I love. I'm one of those people that I wear basically like a different blush, a different lipstick, a different eyeshadow, a different everything most days. I mean, well, I don't know how order anything's going out in the moment, but if you watch one of my recent vlogs, you'll know that currently I'm using this duo all the time, but I'm usually someone who wears a different everything every day. I love it. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope you guys potentially found something that you want to try that maybe becomes your favorite. I've thoroughly enjoyed filming this. But yeah, those are all of my favorite things. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!